All right, so EG1 for Holy Spirit Come. This is a slide part, which we don't have too many of. And let me preface by saying this, I am by no means a professional slide player, so take these things with a grain of salt. If you know more than me, then good for you. But here's some tips about some of it anyway, just super basic slide things. One, it sounds to me like there's a couple parts played in this, in the ISO for this song that are using, like, kind of switching to your fingers. I'm trying to keep that to a minimum just because for most people that would be tough. Most slide people either wear their slide on their ring finger, that's what I tend to do, or their pinky. The pinky gives you more options for still doing chords and triads, so arguably in a vacuum it's like better to learn that way, and I suspect, I've never seen somebody play this song live, but I suspect they're a pinky slide player. But either way, it's just kind of about what's comfortable for you and what works as far as that goes. But just super general guidelines is that you want to just lay the slide across the strings, and whatever fingers you have available, you want to kind of just lay them on the strings behind it and drag them along with it. Helps keep the noise down. You can also use your right hand to kind of lay it on strings you're not playing, which doesn't matter a lot in this song because this song is just about tons of noise, pretty much. So there's that. And then when you're aiming for a note, you want to aim for the fret itself. The actual metal fret is kind of where the note is going to be dialed in the most. So you want to kind of be right on it. I feel like where you stand in relation to the neck of the guitar, if you aim just a little bit past the actual metal fret, then you'll be more accurate in terms of the pitch and everything. Again, it's not super important in this song, and you can kind of use your ears and figure it out. So anyways, so here's kind of the basic idea. You don't come in at all until chorus 1. I would just say you want either gain and compression, or like tons of gain, or something that's going to compress your signal a lot so that it will sustain and kind of go on. And so I'll show you kind of where the basic kind of hook part in this song for all the choruses comes. This is what it sounds like with just a compressor. So you're around this, we're playing in the key of E, by the way. So we're around this E inversion right here, up there. So when we hit that actual fret with the slide is what we're aiming for. That's kind of what you're going for. So that starts pretty much everything. A lot of slide is around those A-shape inversions, just slid around the neck, up and down strings, that kind of thing. That's kind of what's going on here. So we're starting right here, and we're really hitting the D and G strings, or the ones that we care about. So you start really close to down here and go. When you kind of just slide your finger around is what gives that vibrato when you play slide. And then you're just picking the notes in that chord. Then you're sliding up to, that's an E, and you're sliding up here to an A. Now the first time through the chorus, he kind of comes back down here and gets these same two notes again. Whereas on the second chorus, he stays up here and hits the notes up there as part of the A chord. I would do the latter both times just for simplicity's sake. And he'll kind of slide around and hit a bunch of other random notes in the middle of going from one chord shape to another. That's not really so important. It's not so important as to make sure to get every single nuance that the guy does. But like I said, for this part, it really is kind of hitting the chords and making a ton of noise and really taking your time dragging the slide across the notes. The third one is kind of up here. You move to the B and E strings, and you come up to the 12th fret. Not like that. Do like this. But you're kind of vibratoing your slide the whole time. Again, somehow I hear kind of that kind of thing, which I couldn't really pull off with a slide, so I kind of just do it like this instead. It works good in context, which you can hear in the playthrough or in a minute in any case. So. And then you kind of come down here to the A and, what's that other one? D strings to come up here to get the last. And I kind of hit it one more time just for effect. Like I said, as far as effects, just either a ton of gain to get your compression that way, or a compressor and a bunch of gain, kind of whatever you feel like works good. I felt like a ton of gain was good. I didn't end up using delay. You could, arguably, because the notes would sustain a little bit longer, but I felt like just a lot of reverb plus the decay was enough. I didn't really hear a pronounced delay effect in the part anyway, but so once you stack a ton of reverb and gain on top of the whole thing, that's when you kind of, the magic of all the sounds kind of comes together and you get the. And then, like I said, I would hit the kind of one big to get into the verse there. That's the same part for all the choruses, pretty much, the first and second chorus anyway. When you hit verse 2 is one of the parts where you can, if you want, you can kind of switch to playing with your fingers, maybe reverb down a little bit. He does this kind of thing, which if you play with the slide on your pinky would be pretty easy to pull off. It's pretty difficult to pull off like this. And again, I don't think it's super necessary to do it. I thought about playing just leaving the slide intact for that. After that, you come up with the same kind of shape up at the top here. Again, if you're going to do that part, maybe back off your reverb a little bit, just kind of to get that. But either way, you could leave the slide intact. I'm not thoroughly convinced that that's where that part is played, but that at least gives you an option to play what he plays during verse 2. I think the thing that matters the most is that chord bridging when verse 2 starts to build back into the chorus, playing this up here, which you could also do with a slide. And then you're back to the. For the chorus. Into the bridge, I would switch to a middle position or a neck pickup or something, and then you're kind of getting a more chill kind of single note slide thing that's up here. It's on the B string. Just a couple notes. Again, any kind of accenting you do there once bridge 2 starts is the important thing, to just pick the dynamic up a little bit. And then when bridge 2 starts to build, also you switch to your bridge pickup to get up here. Then you're back to the. And then the only note about the last chorus is he never goes to the A chord like we do in the other choruses, just because of how the chord structure changes. It's kind of a walk up. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up through there. So it sounds better to stay on the 1 both times. So then you're just here. The outro switches to, you're definitely using a finger. It's kind of a 1-finger line on the B string, so it's pretty easy wherever your slide is to be able to hit that. I just leave the settings the same, so you've got like just a whole bunch of overdrive happening in the middle of everything, but then you're up here, leave your reverb, all that stuff the same. I don't feel like you need delay or anything, but then you can jump straight from that slide part into the outro line. Can add a little bend there at the end if that's interesting to you in one way or another. So that should be pretty much how to do everything. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Again, it's not exhaustive or like an expert thing or whatever, but it's at least enough to kind of give you a basic idea of what sort of slide noise you want to make for this part. So hope that helps. See ya.